How do you balance your time with regard to your own liturgical life and the demands of your job? Is that difficult?
Well, yeah, that's interesting, Fiona. Some folks feel that in an administrative role like this, in a higher education association, a priest, has to kind of put aside his priesthood. I think that's nonsense. I don't think a day has gone by in my role in this job where I haven't been called upon to do something pastoral, sometimes many times in a day. And I still, I do too much traveling to have a regular Sunday liturgy, public liturgy, but I regularly celebrate liturgy over at Georgetown. I do a lot of weddings, unfortunately a number of funerals. So I'm very comfortable with my identity as a priest. At the same time, I'm operating in an environment. A lot of people say, why is a priest doing that? And it might go back to Teilhard de Chardin. He had this vision of we called Christogenesis, all these things in the world coming together and forming Christ, relating to Christ. And I feel very comfortable with that. He had a great prayer, Mass on the World, where the host came from all the particles of human achievement and the wine from the drops of human suffering. Well, that's I think we're all offering that kind of Mass all the time. So I don't see the dichotomy between being a priest and being head of an association.
My final question is, what advice would you give to a young university graduate?
I would say, first of all, keep a sense of hope. Hope in your power to make a difference. So many opportunities for you to do that. There's also a lot of difficulties ahead. There's one of the things people talk about today, it's possible that this generation may not achieve the same lifestyle as their parents. Well, I find that interesting because we were saying that back in 1970. But I think the challenge is going to be to find out that you can be happier with a lesser lifestyle. The opportunities today presented by globalization, the closeness, just the conversation we're having, probably wouldn't have done that 10 years ago. Or, I've been on 5 continents. I never expected to do that. And with email, you can be talking to people in 3 or 4 different countries at once. And this is an extraordinary opportunity to learn, to grow, to learn about other people, other countries. And obviously there are many great problems out there to deal with. I've often thought, the role of education is to develop your imagination. With your imagination, you create options for yourself. With those options, you have a sense of hope. So I think that progression is really, really important. The tragedy is a lot of folks don't get the education, so they don't have the imagination, don't have the options, so there's no hope. If you had an education, then you have the tools to really make a difference in the world and to just grow in lots of different dimensions. And I would say that about the church too. The church has its problems today. It's had some major problems, but the church is still young. There's still ways in which it can grow, and there are. Your generation is going to create a new church. That's great, and I feel privileged that I lived before Vatican II, during Vatican II, and after Vatican II, and I've liked it all. Aspects before that I liked, but I like today more, and think other things are going to change, and so that continual sense of creating, recreating, expanding yourself, and increasing your ability to change the world. At the same time, you have that hope. You have to realize that 1 billion people are starving and poor. So So that kind of gets you a little more interested in doing something to change that situation.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That's been great. That's just been. You lived up to they said you'd be interested, and they were right.
If you'd like to learn more about Catholic higher education, visit us on the web at www.accunet.org. To suggest an interview topic or guest, or to offer feedback, send an email to research@accunet.org.